Everybody, I'm Kendéll.
And Kaye Guiduli.
All right, so we're sitting here talking about all things wedding. She is a professional makeup artist, among other things. I'm a professional host, hosting events and weddings. What are three things that people should know about their makeup on their wedding day?
That it should be long wearing, that it should take into account the weather of the day, and that it should reflect your personality. Don't try new things that you've never done before on your
What are
wedding
three
day.
things
Things that every couple should know for their wedding day.
to relax, to have a good time, and to focus on the love, the marriage, not just the wedding? All right, so it's all about weddings in the summer, right? Everybody is getting married. But some people lose their makeup artist, they lose their host. Tell me why they should choose you to be their wedding
Yeah.
makeup artist.
Well, we don't ghost our brides, number one. So, if you hire us and we're under contract, we're going to be there for you if you have lost your makeup artist. So, we are reliable, we are on time, we're punctual, and we're professional. And we make sure that you have an amazing day. One thing that I also do is sometimes I'll do the hard things that you don't want to do. So, if for whatever reason you need your certain relative to leave the hotel room,
You do that?
I sure do. I find something for them to do. The bride needs you to go and grab such and such.
So you're getting rid of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you don't want to be
Absolutely.
stressed out on your wedding day. So I also am a certified officiant, and a lot of people don't know that. So Kay asked me earlier if I package the two with my
Yeah.
coaching. Y'all know that I'm a coach.
And can you tell them why it is special and necessary to have your officiant also be your event host?
All right, so that's a good question. Why your officiant should also be your
Event host.
event host. Because now I know the couple, right? I coach them, I marry them, and now I can celebrate with them. And when you coach someone, you get to be, you're allowed to be intimate, and you can ask questions and talk about things that they may not necessarily talk about with another host. So it's just a good time. It becomes family. So it just all gels together. You're getting makeup done for your wedding, right? How far in advance should they book for you?
I would say at least 6 months in advance.
Okay.
But really, as soon as you set your date, find out if your makeup artist is available so that you're not scrambling at the last minute.
Yeah.
A lot of companies book out 12 to 18 months
Yeah.
in advance. So the
Yeah.
earlier you can book, just get it locked in and down. We're usually the cheapest vendor that you're going to have for your wedding day. So just go ahead and get us out of the way.
Right. She said, yeah, the makeup art. So, and my hosting ain't too bad. My hosting ain't too bad. It depends on how many hours that you need me and the things that you want to do. So we were talking about hair and makeup. You can bundle that with your company, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then with coaching, hosting, and even being an officiant for your wedding. So that's the person who marries y'all. Some people are like, well, what is an officiant? I'm not a pastor, I'm not a minister, but if you get me, it's going to be some scripture in there because God is going to be mentioned. Because obvious reasons. What do you want people to know about your business when it comes to makeup? And then tell people some of the people you worked with so they know that you're not new to this and this is what you do.
So I've worked with like Tashonda Duckett, who's the president of CIAA Craft. So a lot of us have our like insurance, like our retirement insurance. So I've worked with CEOs and executives, people on the news. I've worked with brands like Under Armour, PBS, Dateline NBC, Fox. I've worked with Congress people and senators, the Weather Channel. So
Yeah.
um,
Oh, I didn't know you did the Weather
yeah,
Channel.
I did the Weather Channel. I do their public service announcement
Girl.
with congressional folk every year. So, like in your district, they might see their congresspersons with Jim Cantori talking about this is your emergency preparedness plan. So, I do that. But
That's good.
but because of that, I know how to work fast and know how to work in all conditions.
Yeah.
And so does the team of artists and hairstylists I bring. Like
Yeah.
we're used to having to work in fast-paced, high-stress
Yeah.
environments. We know how to make things last and work,
Mm-hmm.
and we know how to stay on time even with when things go wrong
Yeah.
during a wedding day.
That's good. So with weddings and events, that's what we want. We want stress free, we want easy, and we don't want the person who is getting married or the person who is having the event to be stressed out and worry about the little details, because that's what we focus on. And that's why it's important to hire a professional, not someone who is just going to come in and just care about themselves or what they want for the I think that nope, it's about catering to the person or people who hire us. How can I get in contact with you?
Yeah, they can find me on all social media platforms, but mainly Instagram
Mm-hmm.
at Guiduli Artistry, Guiduli Artistry, guiduliartistry.com, um, and info at guiduliartistry.com.
Okay, and you can reach me if you're talking about professional hosting or officiant services. You can go to KL Professional Hosting. That's on Instagram, and also kendellanice.com. And you can see my couples coaching and the things that I do there. It's important to be able to refer others, even if you can't come. If you're a hairstylist or a makeup artist or a host, and you know you can't take the job, definitely, but before you do refer, make sure you know the background and you make sure you know the person's work ethic, and to be able to outsource and refer people, and not just gatekeep. And a lot of people have different connections and they gatekeep. What do you think about gatekeeping? Because people do that. They don't want, if they can't do the gig, they may not want someone else to do the gig.
I've never really understood that. So
Mm-hmm.
even before I was like formally kind of had a team of people that I
Mm-hmm.
worked with,
Mm-hmm.
if I couldn't do a client, I
Mm-hmm.
found them someone. If I
Yeah.
had a client and I was out of town, I found them
Yeah.
someone. And the reason I did that was because I wanted my client to know that I took care of them, so
Yeah.
that I'd always be their first call.
That's good.
So
That's
the
good.
idea of just telling someone I can't do it,
Mhm.
well, when they find someone who can, they might just keep going with that person.
Yeah.
So I think that idea of if you can't do a job and you don't want to refer someone else,
Yeah.
well, you might wind up hurting yourself.
Yeah.
And also, referrals always come back to you. So just by remaining open, what would you want? Do
Yeah.
you want to have to cold call a bunch of people for an event service that you need when you can't find someone? Or would it be easier for you that if you call a vendor who already knows you, they know what you want, they help you find someone who's a good fit for you? I would want someone to do that for me, and I do my best to treat my clients the way I would want to be treated.
I think we're going to end there. That was good. But I was taught by my mother, you want for your sister what you want for yourself,
Amen.
right? So if that's something that you want and it's quality work and you can pass it on to someone else, why not? Because what God has for you, He has for you. And your blessings are not going to be taken away if you give something to someone else. Actually, your blessings will increase. This was good. Thank you, Kay. This is
Thank
not
you.
the last time that you will see us together. We're working on some things. So take care. God bless y'all. Peace.